Hello and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on a Thursday evening. This is a working day for all of us, and I'm sure all of you also must have come back from work or from college and have joined this webinar. Uh, uh, Assuming that you're here after a long day at 7:30, you're equally passionate about design as much as we are. So without further ado, I would like to begin this webinar. I am Shubhangi and I'm part of the branding and communications team here at AND. And today this webinar will be led by our course manager for interior design, Tavleen. And we're also joined by our CSD rep, that is Career and Services Division that we have here at AND by Azhar. And before I hand it over to Tavleen and to Azhar to just like take this presentation forward, I would like to talk a little bit about what is AND and what is it that we do here at AND and why do we do it and how do we do it. So AND is a one-of-a-kind design upskilling platform, which is launched by the Indian Institute of Art and Design, New Delhi. So which is a brick and mortar design college here based in New Delhi, Okhla. So and actually comes from a lot of design pedigree and experience in design education and imparting design education and how to do that. So we're not just one of those ed tech platforms that have come up recently. We've been doing this for a while. And we offer professional design courses for graduates and working professionals in the domains of graphic design, UX/UI design, and interior design. All of our courses are delivered live online in an interactive sort of a manner. And we steer away from traditional models of learning so that we optimize for accessibility and convenience so that you can work and learn together. Our motto here at AND is to make design education accessible, affordable, and industry relevant. And most importantly, we do all of this to enable successful career transformations. All of the courses that we teach here at AND are um, designed in a way that even if you come from zero design background or very minimal design background, that you're able to pick those up. So our courses begin from the very fundamentals and then you go on to build your expertise. Our course is also stackable, so you can begin from, say, a certificate, and then once your certificate is over, you can choose to go on for a diploma. So you also build your expertise step by step. We combine expert mentorship, practical training, and industry exposure to guide you towards a better future in the industry. That is all about AND. I would also like to introduce Tavleen, who will be leading this presentation today. So Tavleen is a certified interior architect, educator, and a design scholar with substantial industry experience. She's worked on various interior architecture projects with organizations like Studio AVT Architects, Gyanpi Mathur and Associates, Dhun Life, and Studio Sara. A graduate of Maharishi Dayanand University, Rohtak, Tavleen holds a master's degree in interior architecture from Sushant School of Art and Architecture, Gurgaon. With that, you'll see the agenda for this webinar on your screen. We'll follow a sort of a flow for this webinar, where Tavleen will take you through what are the courses here we offer at and what will be your industry opportunities. Then she'll take you through the student work. Most importantly, we'll follow this agenda, this flow of the webinar, and take the questions at the end of the presentations. So meanwhile, the presentation is going on. If you have any questions, I request you to put it in the Q&A box that you see at the bottom of your screen. Not in the chat box, but not in the Q&A box. Yeah, with that, I hand it over to Tavleen. Tavleen, please take it ahead.
Thank you, Shubhangi. Thank you so much. Thank you, Azhar, for joining in. We'll be talking to you soon. Yeah. Okay. And welcome all the to-be learners for design. Yeah. So, okay, as Shubhangi has already mentioned some things about and how do we take our curriculum forward. I'll just, one by one I'll be talking about all these, aspects. So let's talk first about what is interior design. Yeah. So interior design basically holds the power of transforming spaces, and that you do, of course, by design. Yeah, and we say that we are not only dealing with space, we are also dealing with humans, and it is very important to be maintaining a symbiotic relationship between humans and environment to be able to cater to both the needs of the space, the environment, as well as the users or the humans, right? Then we say that, each and every line, each and every dot in any space has a meaning. So we say that, when we are dealing with anything related to interior design, we are tackling each and every square foot of that space. Yeah. So we are understanding the usability of that space. We're trying to, provide function to that. And of course, the aesthetic element never goes away. Yeah. So, of course, we are here to create aesthetically pleasing and functional interior spaces. Yeah. So we say that interior designers can visualize, they can plan, and they can actually, transform spaces through ideation, experimentation, and application. Moving ahead, so many people here come in, and uh, there's a gap between their understanding of what interior designing is, what interior styling, and what is interior decoration. And often people think that all these three things are the same. But here we would like to throw some light on the differences. Yeah. So when we say about interior decoration, so we say that okay, interior decoration deals with anything which can actually add to the aesthetics of the space, which can beautify a space, and of course it can help you move here and there, some add some pretty elements to the space. Some furniture can also be added in the interior decoration. Apart like Along with that, we also come to understanding interior styling. So in the interior styling, what we can think of is maybe playing with the functionality, understanding the functionality of the space, and actually just moving the furniture here and there, and understanding, okay, if we do our layout in such a manner, maybe this can have this role. But interior designing is much more than that. Interior designing is basically understanding people's behavior and create not only functional spaces but also aesthetically pleasing spaces, right? So an interior designer is dealing with understanding the space as well as understanding the behavior of the space, and that's how we are able to customize a particular space for a particular user. Yeah. So we say that an interior decorator or an interior stylist cannot be an interior designer, but an interior designer can be an interior stylist or an interior decorator. Yeah. Okay, moving ahead, we say that at and we focus on design greater than any software. So like this holds true for the industry, also for the entire design industry, that many people think that if they know a software, they'll be able to design spaces, but we focus on the process. Yeah, so we say that an interior designer wears many hats, and that's how I would like to talk that all these hats are of wearing a hat of a thinker. So you are a logical and creative thinker, you are imaginative, you're always researching about what's happening in the market new, what is the new material that is coming in, what are the new trends that are coming up. Yeah, so you are a researcher, you're also a planner, you're planning how can you actually like how can you plan the layout of a particular space in such a manner that it can be usable as well as it looks pretty. Yeah, and of course you are a maker, so once you plan things, you're going to create those. And designers per se are always a learners. Yeah, they are always learners, and a designer is a learner. This is something that holds true at every stage, at every age of your life, if you are a designer. Yeah. Okay, so what must a designer know? Yeah. So we say that you must know something about the visual design and something about the elements of design, something about the principles of design, knowledge about color, texture, lighting, all of this. So a sense of visual design is very important. Yeah. So to be able to to be able to see things through a perspective that you're able to imagine, and then you're able to convert that imagination into visual representation. Yeah. And the knowledge of compositions, the knowledge of grids is something that holds, under the category or under the umbrella of visual design. Then we are designing for users. We need to know what do they, like what are the needs, what are the requirements of the users of the space, and to be able to satisfy those needs. So basically, we'll have to understand those needs and then, of course, work towards actually meeting those requirements. And you actually set a problem statement for yourself that, okay, according to our communication with our client, this is what they need, and this is what we feel that must be provided to that space. So then, are we able to, through the help of a design process, through the help of developing ideas and converting those ideas into a design solution or various design solutions, you are able to satisfy the human, the user's needs. And of course, for this step, you would definitely want a particular software. You would definitely want maybe to be able to present your idea. You would want something printed. Yeah. So tech for production is something which is a part of this that a designer must know. And what if I say that you are able to, very well do all these four things, like you are able to, incorporate all the visual design aspects in your design. You're able to understand the user's need. You're able to, actually go through the design process also, and you're able to you are able to create a product out of your understanding also through by using a software, but you're not able to effectively communicate, then it is something which can be troublesome. So yes, effective communication is something which is very important to be able to design, understand, and to be able to communicate your own designs. Yeah. So yes, these are all the things that a designer must know. Moving ahead, all these toolkits, all these a set of tools that you have, a kitty you have with you. Now, how can you use all this tools, how all these techniques that you have learned here? What kind of projects can you work on after you have learned all of this? Yeah, so we move ahead and understand that, of course, all these days homes are getting renovated. They keep getting renovated in terms of people want what is going on in the latest trends, and they really want to incorporate certain elements of those trends in their own houses. So this is something which is a large scope for you to be able to convert your ideas of the research that you have done on what are the trends, to be able to use that design process knowledge, and to be able to use that software knowledge, and to be able to convert, transform home interiors is something that you are eligible to do. Then, of course, cafes, restaurants, themed cafes are something that is like a in thing these days. So yes, this is something that falls in your scope. Hospitality sectors do design their lobby areas or their entrance foyer areas. So definitely this again holds in your scope. Office and co-working spaces. This is also something which these days people really want, lively working spaces. So yes, this is where many people hire interior designers for. Then moving ahead, retail stores, the display areas, permanent retail stores, temporary retail stores, pop-up stores, or store window displays. All these areas are the areas of scope. So yeah, these all hold into your scope of work. Then we also have a e-commerce website wherein IKEA, wherein you can incorporate your designs and you can actually generate them using the internet. Apart from that, there are so many exhibitions that are held. So for that, people really convert their, they really want their brand to stand out. So for them, you can definitely design certain spaces and like a temporary kind of a setup for them. And like, of course, this is also something that holds under your scope. Then, of course, there are certain retail stores which really they are selling off all these, home interior decor stuff. So these people really want the setup to be arranged in a manner which looks like a real, set up in a home. So yeah, this is also a space which is covering the retail aspect into a commercial aspect. Yeah. So all these interiors are something that holds under your scope, designing all these interiors. Yeah. So as it is very important to know that what all can you do in future after gaining all these tools toolkit, it is also important to know what you cannot do. Yeah. So anything related to your structure, anything related to your, the anything which is inside the structure, like the core of the structure, columns, beams, the structural elements inside a building, anything which is exterior element, and anything which has to do with the internal piping, or anything which has to do with certain things that are regarding the plumbing aspects, is something that definitely the structural element of the building is something that you won't be able to remove or dismantle, or just renovate just as you feel like. You'll have to definitely consult a civil engineer or an architect or a structural engineer in case you really want to make certain changes, to be able to understand that whether it is a load bearing structure or not, with load bearing wall or not. So to be able to cater to all these decisions, you'll have to involve in either of these experts from the industry who can help you take these decisions, but you won't be able to take these decisions solely. Yeah. So anything which lies within the building, anything which lies within the interiors of a space, this is something that you can, without the dismantling of the walls and doors and windows, that is something that really holds in your scope. But apart from that, you'll have to consult the experts. Yeah. Okay. Moving ahead. What skills and knowledge set does an interior designer need to be able to, design certain spaces? So we say that an interior designer must know the spatial planning aspect. Yeah. So as we were talking in the above slides, that it is important to understand a space and who you are designing that space for. So to be able to understand the client, which we all often say as the client brief. Yeah, to be able to break down these requirements into the functional and emotional needs, so that you're able to cater to both the needs separately and in a combination of both. Yeah. And to be able to create spaces in a manner that creates a symbiotic relationship between the human and the environment. Yeah, to be able to then create certain layouts, to be able to do the dimensioning, the measurements, and then convert it into a software, develop certain drawings, prepare certain technical drawings. And once you have done that, you can also go ahead and, once you place all the furniture, all the materials together, then to be able to select and source materials, the fixtures, the furniture, the furnishing, etc. Yeah. Apart from that, it is very important to be able to understand that it is not just you and the user. There are many other people, many other, like uh, personals which are involved in this process. So whoever is going to deliver, things at your site, you'll have to collaborate with them. Yeah. So this is also a very important skill that is required to be able to collaborate and coordinate with the vendors. Yeah. So yes, this is the entire skill set that an interior designer requires. So now, moving ahead, we'll be understanding and just seeing how we work at and how our students have been working till now. So for this, I'll show you the Miro board, a Miro space. So this is a software which we use to be like in a day-to-day basis, wherein this is like a pin board, a virtual pin board, wherein the faculty as well as the students are able to put in all the work together at one place. This is a workspace. Also, what happens is sometimes, as you know, I'll be mentioning this to you in the like future slides. I'll be telling you in proper detail that our classes are very interactive in nature. So what happens is that generally we introduce you to a concept and we have an activity around that concept. And then we also give you feedback. Like, we see all the work and then we give you feedback on what's happening. And there might be certain cases wherein we are in a cohort, right? So the peers are giving each other feedback. So that also happens. So all this happens on this particular workspace. Yeah. So I'll be just guiding you and showing you certain things about different modules that we cover. So this is certain, this is where we begin. We begin from the fundamentals of design. So this is something, some certain examples, certain instances of how our students were working, and how we actually, traveled through this journey. So some 2D compositions initially, then we converted them into 3D. Then we understood elements of design through certain activities. Again, we understood principles of designs through certain activities. Then we did certain things like mapping to be able to understand the circulation of the space and to be able to understand different zones in a space. Then we were covering the aspects of or the topic of ergonomics in anthropometry, where we were understanding how does human scale the proportion of the space, and how do you understand that what is a good fit for your, how do you create certain furniture, or how do you create certain things which are appropriate to your human scale. Yeah, then we also understand color, light, and texture. We also teach you a software which is known as Kuhum. In this assignment, we were telling them to just exactly replicate their own, like the space that they were attending their class through. So yeah, they try to replicate that into the software, and the above images that you see are the real images, and the below are the software images. Yeah. So that's what we do in the first module, which is known as the fundamentals of design. Then we move on to the residential project, which is the second module, wherein we are explaining you through a demo client that how are we going to understand, how are we going to prepare a brief, how are we going to understand different spaces, and how are we going to ask the right kind of questions to our clients, so that we are able to understand what are their requirements, what are their needs, what are their likings, and what do they want from their space. Then we create certain mood boards, certain images together we collect, so that we are able to tell them that, okay, this is something that we are thinking about your space, to be able to know, to be able to gather that whether we are on the same page or not. Yeah, then we create it for our own project. Yeah, we are able to, so in this particular module, what we are doing is we are finding our own client, and we are going to design a space for them. Yeah, so all the knowledge that we have gathered in the first module, this is where we are going to actually apply that knowledge. Yeah, so then we use the software Kuhum again to be able to develop these, you know, uh, layouts, and to be able to develop these floor plans, the ceiling plans, the elevations, everything we are able to do it in Kuhum. Then again, we keep meeting our clients on weekends, and we are preparing a list of questionnaire for them, a list of questionnaire to be able to understand the space better, and to be able to design for them better. Yeah. So these are certain activities that we do for the demo client first, and then for our own client. Then we prepare certain material boards, mood boards for their client, and we create various options for them. We are also creating options of layouts for them, and understanding Vastu also. We are creating a separate Vastu plan for them. Yeah. And then we are finally coming on to the real life renders, like how is this space going to look like. Yeah. So this is what we do in the residential project module. And apart from that, we are also going to make a list of materials that we use in this, and we are going to understand that, okay, a list of vendors from which we are going to take this, we are going to get these materials supplied from there. Yeah. So those of us who are going to join us for the certificate course, this is the step where you can exit. Yeah. And as Shubhangi was also mentioning in the beginning of the webinar, that there's a possibility that either you exit here at this step, and then you work on the field, and you decide after a few months that, okay, now I want to take this learning forward. Then what happens is that we jump on to the third module, wherein we are talking about certain construction lectures, wherein we are going to give you some knowledge about how are the walls constructed, how are the ceilings constructed, how are the floors constructed. Yeah, we are also going to give you knowledge about the AutoCAD software. Yeah, and also we are going to parallelly start our visual research about a particular thing, which then finally gets converted, a particular theme or a brand that finally gets converted into a commercial project. Yeah. So the fourth module is known as the commercial project, wherein I'm going to showcase you Pratyusha's work, wherein she had chosen Himalaya as a brand. She did the visual research for this, and she tried to understand that okay, what kind of what is the history of the brand, what is the what is the value, the personality, the voice, the position and the target audience out there in the market for this particular brand. She was also trying to understand that okay, what is the vision, what is the mission of this brand, and what if this brand really wants to start a business venture wherein they are planning to open a cafe. So now if at all it has a site, then we are going to understand that, okay, what is around the site wherein we are going to build this cafe. And if there is an existing cafe already for this particular brand, then how does it look like? Then these are certain points which we are going to take care of that where is my entrance going to be, and how is my walkway going to look like in terms of when I'm walking towards my cafe, how is it going to look like, how is where is my customer or my the stakeholders, how are they going to utilize the space, and how am I going to understand that all these things are covered in this particular module. We are going to understand that this particular brand, when it really wants to get converted into a cafe or an eatery, then how are we going to do it? So all the entire process, similar to how we did in the residential project, that we are going to understand the color palette that we're going to use, similar to the brand that we are defining this cafe for. And then we are going to understand how are we going to place the layout. So how are we going to create the layout plans, understanding the SWOT, understanding the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat of this particular layout. And then coming up to a final layout option and then converting this layout into some 3D images. So this entire process is something that holds true for the commercial project. Along with that, we are also going to cover HVAC plans, yeah, and which is basically catering to all the ventilation and the AC construction there. Yeah, how are we going to install those? Yeah, and how are we going to list down the different materials that we have used, the description about the same, and the costing also. So the costing aspect is something that we are going to cover in the commercial project module, in the fourth module, right? And what happens is that finally then we compile this entire understanding together into a PDF. So I'll show you another project wherein there was a different brand which was Spotify. Now the student Nikita Jain, she converted this particular brand into a cafe. So I'll just run through this presentation. Yeah, so at every step, at every layout creation, she was able to find out the SWOT. Then she was able to create a lighting plan. Then she was able to create an HVAC plan, the elevations of the space, a mood board, what she wanted. And these are the final renders of the space. This is how she wanted her cafe to look like. For the brand Spotify. Yeah. All right. So coming back to our presentation. Yeah. So when you learn interior design with And Academy, we are going to start from the the fundamental, the basic knowledge. Yeah. So we understand that we invite people who are coming in from different backgrounds to be able to start their interior design journey with us. And that's why we understand that you do not have any, prior knowledge about the domain. Yeah. So that's why we start from the very basics. We start from fundamentals. Yeah. We aim to teach beyond softwares. Yeah. So here we are going to focus more on the design process. And of course, we are going to take support of the software in order to convert your ideas into visual representation. Yeah. Here, whoever is a faculty or mentor, they have worked in the field, they are industry practitioners, or they have a lot of experience in the field. So that's why we have chosen them as your mentors to be able to guide you on the real life scenarios. Yeah. So that's why we say that, okay, we say that when you are able to learn here, when you are coming here, we'll be making you confident enough to be able to go out and work in the industry. Yeah. How do we make sure that is happening is by making you do a lot of things. So we say that design is always learned by doing. Yeah. So that's why we say that we have live sessions, as well as we give you a lot of after hour tasks, so that you are interacting with the subject again and again, and you are getting enough time to be able to, you know, ponder upon certain thoughts that you have about the particular, topic or a particular concept. And then, of course, you get to interact with your mentors, you get to interact with your peers, and you keep getting feedback on the work that you have done to be able to improve that. Yeah. For these feedbacks, what happens is that definitely there's a dedicated faculty for your cohort, but then we also keep calling certain external. So at the end of every module, we have assessments planned for you. We have a review. Yeah. So there we call an external person to be able to review your work and to be able to guide you and give you a feed forward. Yeah. And for the even semesters, like for people who are who have selected the certificate course, the second module, as well as for some of you who really want to take their journey towards the diploma course, for you guys, the fourth module. In these even modules, what's happening is we also have mid reviews. So what happens, since these are the even ones are the, the modules wherein you are applying all the knowledge. So we feel that a mid review is also required. Yeah. Then our courses are stackable. You can start with your journey at and from the certificate course. You can go back in the industry, work there, and then come back and continue your journey, continue your learning with us with the diploma course. Yeah. Then what happens is that we also say that we do have for the diploma course, we do have our career development and placement support helping you. Yeah. So yeah, that's about that's about your journey at and this is how, these are the things that we are going to cover. Yeah. Moving ahead, our courses in the interior design, as I already mentioned, the certificate course is the course that we start from. It is an 18-week course, which includes the two modules, fundamentals of interior design, as well as the residential project. Then after this, those of us who have chosen diploma, they move ahead, they complete the certificate course, then plus 16 weeks of these two modules, which include the input of CAD, plus the construction knowledge, plus the visual research, plus the fourth module, which has to do with the commercial project. Yeah. Then also, we are going to meet twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays from 7 to 10 in the evening. Yeah, but we say that these are live sessions, of course. These are very interactive sessions. We encourage our students to log in via laptop, joining these sessions, because as these 3 hours are planned in such a manner that you are not going to just, it's not like a monologue right now, like this is what is happening right now, that you're just listening to me, but this is not how our classes are planned. Yeah. So our classes are very interactive in nature. There are a lot of discussions that happen. There are a lot of activities that you have to do within those 3 hours, and you get a lot of feedback. Yeah. So that's why it is encouraged to log in via laptop and have a stable internet connection. Apart from that, it is also said that, we give you a lot of classwork as well as we give you a lot of homework. Yeah. So since to be able to complete that homework, to be able to complete those assignments, you have to invest in at least 6 hours of self-study every week. Yeah. And that's at least. It depends on how you really want to indulge in that particular concept or how much time it takes you to be able to complete a particular assignment. Yeah. Then our faculty is available to be like, of course, we are not a 24/7 running firm, but yeah, if you have any queries, they can help you understand and they can help you, with your queries within the class or outside the class also. There is a medium through which you can contact the faculty to be able to um, clear your doubts. Yeah. Okay, moving ahead, we have some industry practitioners as mentors, and we have Snehanshu sir, who's coming in from a prestigious institute, SPA. Yeah, we also have Madhu Pandit ma'am. She also runs her own firm, and she teaches at IIAD. We have Rashim Mahajan ma'am with us, who's a Vastu expert. We have Pankaj sir with us, who is also a material expert, as we say, and you have me. Yeah. So, yes, as I mentioned, we have people coming in from a lot of experience, and we have coming people coming in from prestigious institutes. Yeah. So, okay. Now these are our students who really, these are our success stories that we share on our website also. That's these students joined us with zero background in interior designing. And they are now working in the field. Some of them have started their own firm. Some of them have started, they have collaborated with each other and they've started working together, and some of them are working on freelance projects and whatnot. They are enjoying their journey in design. Yeah. And this slide really makes me very happy and proud of seeing such faces and seeing now also we get an opportunity to interact with them. It feels nice to be able to see that transformation happening. Yeah. So what else? We help you prepare a professional presentation and to be able to deliver it. Yeah, so we are going to help you not only work on the design process, but we'll also be helping you in collating the entire, that journey that you have undertaken with us, to be able to collate that information together and to be able to deliver it. Yeah, to be able to present it in front of your clients also. We'll be able to help you in that. And of course, we have our career development support module, wherein we have 6 sessions on Saturdays by our career experts. Our CDS expert will also help you, throw some light here. Yeah, we have Azhar sir with us. So yeah, Azhar, I'll invite you here if you want to talk about this. And I'll
Sure.
leave this slide on so that any other queries anybody has, they can get here. Yeah.
Great. A very good evening to all of you. Thank you, Tavleen, for this. And I think who all have joined us today must have got a lot of insights in terms of design and what and is actually offering in terms of their design education and aspiration as such. Uh, 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 here, Tavleen and her team actually prepares you academically. They give you an ammo to go out and showcase your skills, wherein we as career services division, we help you to go out in the market, and also we prepare you first, wherein these career development modules, which is called CDM, which happens like alternate Saturdays, right? It's a 2 hour uh, module where we talk about different aspects. So it's a tailor-made 6 sessions that we have curated for our learners, wherein we firstly. So let me just quickly go one by one, which will give you an understanding why it is important first hand to take this CDM session, and then to go ahead and take whatever opportunities that is coming to your way. So we firstly start with the career goal setting, which is where you get to understand what exactly do you want to do after completion of this course, whether you want to start something of your own, you want to continue with the practice along with somebody in the industry, you want to go ahead and join a full-time job, you want to do freelancing, whatever it is. Then after getting the clear picture, you write your elevator pitch, which is very, very important. So this is the second module, wherein you try to build up on what exactly you are as a person and what you can bring to the table and how you can present yourself. That's second. Third would be your resume. So we'll help you to prepare your resume. We'll give you tips and tricks how to curate it. Then the next one is your cover letter, which is very, very important. We work on that. Then we take you through for the LinkedIn part, which is the self branding part as well. How to build up on your profile, how you can do lots and lots more engagement, start up your network and other things as well. Last but not the least, the sixth session is for people who really want to go ahead and understand AI and how you can scout a job using an AI, right? So that's it's a full-fledged 3 hours of a session that we take. And that's where how you also by that time, by the completion of the sixth session, you also understand how and exactly what you want to do after the completion of this course here at hand, right? Post that, we at and the career services at and has been gracefully uh, in contact with a lot of industry patrons, wherein we have connection with a lot of companies for full times and internships. So whatever opportunity that is coming our way, we put up with the learners, and that's where how we go ahead. We just don't take the freelancing opportunities because the freelancing comes with a lot of different aspects of finance and other issues as well. So we don't get into it, but definitely if you're looking forward to go ahead for a full-time or part-time jobs, we support you there as well. Yeah, over to you, Tableen.
Yes, thank you. And now I think about like now we are open to take any questions. And Shubhangi, now if you want to take over the question and answer session.
Thank you, Tavleen, for your presentation. Thank you, Azhar, for being around and sharing all your learnings about the market and the industry and how a learner should go about, navigating their way through the job market, which is really, really important, which is something that we really focus on in the, the AND universe. So I see that some people have already put in questions, but they put it in the chat option. I just request you to put it in the Q&A box so that we can answer them systematically. But yeah, let's not wait. Let's begin. Manasvi has a question. Manasvi is asking, after I complete this course, I will be able to join any industry? I'm not sure. What do you mean by any industry? If you're wanting to move to graphic, I would recommend that join the graphic design course, or if you want to move to UX UI design, then join the UX UI course. But if you're wanting to move to an interior design job, as the profiles that and other profiles that Tavleen has already mentioned in her presentation, then I would recommend that you move with an interior design course. So Manasvi, I would request you to please elaborate on your question if you have anything else. Can we have an offline orientation? No. So we do not offer any offline orientation. All of our courses, as I mentioned earlier, are delivered through online models of, dissemination, which is mostly on, you'll have your master classes on Zoom or on Google Meet, correct me if I'm wrong, Tableen, and your classes on MS Teams.
MS Teams.
So that is the platforms we work on. However, we did have last December, 6 months back, a social gathering for all of our learners, which is called And Social, which is a yearly sort of an event that we have which is an offline event here at the IID campus, which would be an offline event, but that's the limit of it. We don't do offline orientation. Our orientations are very much online. Hari Prasad has a question. Study materials or hard copies are covered in the package as well. Tavleen, do you want to take that?
So, whatever study material or whatever links, so there are certain, links that we would like you to refer to, or there are certain materials that you would want you to, just prepare before the class, or we would definitely want you to go through certain things. All of that is available online. So we'll be sharing as per the session, before the session, that what is required, and whatever, the course handy material that we give you is all online, and we'll be sharing that with you. So I don't think so that is something that we need to worry about. Yeah.
So, and to answer this in a very short form, no, we do not provide any hard copies in the course package that you get. You only get, as Tavleen mentioned, online links or online study material. Hari Prasad is asking laptop specifications for this course and other such requirements. So, Hari Prasad, once you enroll and you go through the process of counseling with your admissions counselor and with the academics team, um, once you sort of onboard the program, you do get a starter kit in which the IT team will sort of come back to you with what sort of specifications of laptop you require, what should be your, Canvas login, this, that. All of these operational details are sorted out at that point. But Tavleen, if you were to answer that question, what would be a good laptop specification? I want to say something that is i5. That would
Yeah.
be
Five
uh,
processor with a graphic card. Graphic card is important.
i5, a minimum i5 processor with a graphic card. So yeah. Sudhir, you've put in your questions in the webinar chat. I request you to put it in the Q&A box. However, we'll still answer this question. What software is required for interior design is what Sudhir is asking. Tavleen, do you want to talk about that?
So before we answer to this question, I think what software, there are a lot of softwares available in the market, but we are going to cater to in the certificate course to whom as a software, and in the diploma course we are going to teach you AutoCAD. So these are the two software that we are going to teach you, and these are pretty much enough for but of course in the outside market there are many software that are available which can help you develop 3Ds, which can help you develop 2Ds. So yeah, but at and we cover Puhum as well as in the certificate course and AutoCAD in the diploma course.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tavleen. Okay, so because we have Azhar here also today, and we haven't had any career questions, but I still want to touch base with you, Azhar, on
Sure.
this is a major concern that people who are coming to an interior design course or wanting to get into an interior design industry, they're
Right.
always have their own thing, start their own practice or like become an entrepreneur. Do you want to shed light on how to navigate that sort of a job market, or what would that prospect look like here after finishing your course here at AND?
Right. So I think the first when I was talking about the career modules, the career development modules, the first and foremost thing that we do with all our learners is to set up their career goals, right? But actually gives them an understanding about how and exactly what do you want to go ahead with after, with your career after completing this course, right? Because now you have a knowledge, right? And what exactly? Because I think Tavleen recently covered in previous slides, like there are n number of opportunities right now in the market, right? You can go ahead and do retail design. You can go ahead and do the interior design, spatial design. There are pop-up store design. There is a word like a lot of things are there, right? We have recently seen there are new, or rather, I should put it as a they were there, but it was a little bit untouched, but it is now booming. There is experience design, right? There is more into event design that is coming up, right? We know one of the companies, Akivani, who is into this only, right? So this is where the first step comes into place for any of our learners, wherein they have to firstly decide where exactly they want to go ahead in terms of the career, right? And these uh, career development modules at An Academy, they don't actually focuses more on getting you a job kind of a thing, right? It actually equips you with the right set of industry knowledge, right? And to prepare you for the same, that how you can actually project yourself as a brand and get into the job market, whether if you want to go ahead for a full-time role or a part-time role or a freelancing role, right? So it all goes in that streamlined manner.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Azhar. Um, okay, we have a question. Somebody is asking, what are the career options if someone doesn't have time to get involved in site visit or continues traveling?
Okay, so that's that's little difficult on the side, but what we have seen, because then it will go more into visualization part of it, right? Rather than getting into the execution of any of the projects, right? So you can do rendering and all these things, not going to the actual sites, right? Putting this across the team that okay, there's somebody X who's doing the execution part of it. But recommended is that you should take this because it will give you more experience, more you can explore more about the business, how the design, not only the design but the business of design as such.
Yeah, that's so aptly put, Azhar. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Mm, I had actually another question, since while people are putting their questions. This is something that we have seen, that people who are coming from allied fields, or somebody, for say example, who has a real estate business, or like, coming from a family of builders, have joined our courses. I want to understand, like, how will it add value to somebody who comes from this knowledge of business of an allied field, or is doing some internal sliding, say from a civil engineering background, or from an architecture background. Like, what is the path, the growth path, that what does it look like for, and I would love for both of you all to weigh in on this. And what do you think that would look like for somebody who comes from that sort of a background?
Oh, I think it will be a deadly combination, by the way. Rest, I'll definitely go to Tavleen for the technical side of it. But definitely, if you have, firstly, I'll take the first question, whether if you're coming from a family or a background where you have a firm setup already, you want to go up and grow that particular business, right? This will actually equip you with an understanding to firstly to understand your clients better, right? To understand what exactly do you need to co-curate or to curate that particular space, right? Whichever that you are into. Second part, which is, let's say if somebody is coming from an architectural or a BTech side of it, right? Then I would say, or a civil side of it, that uh, it's more of a combination that you'll get. Right now, you know the architectural part of it, right, where you know how to go on a drawings, the technical drawings and everything, right? And apart from this, now you know what, and it's actually the both of them, the interior side and the civil side, the architectural side will it's an amalgamation, right, to build up a space, right? So this is one of the best combination that I would see in any of the learners if somebody is coming from that background. uh Tavleen, would you like to add on that?
Yeah, I think you rightly mentioned that it will be like so I would say it's a one-stop solution for the first case when you already own a retail store, or some kind of a business you already have. So you already have clients, they are coming in for a particular service to you, they are going to just buy something. Now you can also provide them with the designs for the same. Yeah, and for them it will be very easy, for the clients also, that okay, they just came to one shop and their job is done. Yeah. And in the second case, when either they are civil engineers, so many civil engineers come for interviews also, and they say that we are very bored of our job. We are bored of just looking at the site. We really want to add a creative element to it. So I think this is what is going to add that creativity to your field and to your day-to-day life now. Yeah. So I think, yeah, it's a
That's really
perfect, yeah.
good of you. Thank you. Hari Prasad has another question. Hari Prasad is asking, may I know what is the success rate in terms of how many of your students have built successful careers? So success, I would like to say, is a relative term. Um, However, I've just put the link of our website in everybody's chat. So please just go on our website and check out how many people have successfully, upskilled and are, charting their wonderful journey in their careers. You'll also find like very deep in-depth sort of blogs on student journeys that you'll find in our resources section. And some of them are also people who have come from interior design background, Pavan, Jyot, and Nandini, to name a few. Pavan Jyot is one of our learners who comes from an allied field, who came from like a if I remember correctly, timber. He has a timber business, and Nandini is one of the learners who's come back to education after a very long time, and then she's a young mother and an entrepreneur, and then she has gone to successfully complete the course and start something of her own. So there are like many people, not just these, not to put numbers to these learners. They are people, and we really, really enjoy and love their journeys. We hold them close to our hearts. So there are many people who have upskilled with us, and you can very well find them on the website for the link of which I've just put in your chat. So Hariprasad, please go and check that out. That will give you a fair idea of how many people have successfully built their careers with us. So yeah, if we have any more questions, now is the right time to be putting in those. If we don't, okay, let's just wait for another minute. If we have another question, then we'll just take that. Cool. I guess not. I think with that, we've reached the end of this webinar. Thank you, Azhar. Thank you. Oh, we do. Sorry, I spoke a little too soon. Okay, Hari Prasad has another question. He's saying, do you have a fair idea about how much an interior designer can earn per project, residential or commercial? I think I'll throw that question to both of yours. Uh, I think it will be very difficult to quantify because the scale of the project and whatnot.
Exactly, I was coming to that point only.
Yeah.
Yeah, that how big the project is, right? Exactly what in like there are a lot technical terms that you get into once you on board on any of the projects, right? So it's a little difficult in terms of and especially in India where we have different set of companies, firms, freelancer doing this. They could be so it's very much subjective on that.
Tavleen, do you have any views on this? Do you want to share?
Plus, I think you really need to know that what is the scope of work? Are you designing the entire interiors of the space, or you're just, rearranging the furniture for them, or it's just one room that you're doing? So it will really depend on, that also. So yeah, I think that is a very vast question that you asked.
Completely agreed. Uh, okay, just give me a moment. Sudhir, I think we've already answered your question. We will provide you with study material, but none of it will be physical copies of anything. It'll all be in the form of Canvas links and other resources and links that the academics team will be able to share with you as and when you enroll. So yeah. Cool. I think we've reached the end of this webinar. Thank you, Tavleen, and thank you, Azhar, for joining us today. Thank you, everyone who's just like stuck around and been with us till the end of this webinar. Thank you. And our courses, I would just like to mention that our batch will start very soon. It is starting on the 19th of July. We have the orientation. And we also have a great offer that is going on, which is what we like to call a victory scholarship. We're celebrating Team India's win for the World Cup, and we're offering a 5K off, flat 5K off on any course. So if you're wanting to apply, now is the right time. The offer will expire on 8th of July, and our batches are going to start on 19th of July. So if you're wanting to make a shift or starting your interior design journey, now is the time to do that. Yeah, with that, I would like to say that we are hoping to see you in class very soon, and thank you for joining us today. Good night.
Thank you, and a very good night. Bye bye.
Thank you. Good night.